Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I'm glad you're here this morning. Got a big show lined up, but first, our weather. It's not going to be much of a difference, and it's going to be a high of 81, low of 75. Those 60-degree nights are not with us much anymore, so we're going to miss those. It really has been nice, and we'll get back to them soon. I can promise you. But the cool thing, the neatest thing on the weather right now is the water temperature. It is reading this morning at a 77.7. That's the first time it's been in the 70s. In fact, this time a week ago it was 82.5, so it's been about almost a 6-degree drop in 1 week. Now that's a big deal. I cannot overemphasize how important that drop is right there. Now it's going to sort of bump back up and go back down, but the trend is going to start going down like this. So we're getting ready. We're in that pre-fall right now, early fall fishing, and that water temperature is just right on time, just like that. The first day of fall was yesterday, and all of a sudden, boom, it goes down. So I just want you to be aware of that. Let's take a look at our river readings. We didn't get them yesterday. They're brought to us by Mountain Dew. Get out and do. The Apalachicola Bluntstown this morning is reading right at 16.9, right under 17, and going down, of course. And the Choctawhatchee at Caryville is at a 13.6 this morning. Both of them are going down. They didn't peak out, they didn't crest out quite as much as had anticipated and had been forecast, which is good. We're glad to do that. But what the river that really the creek that really jumped out after all this rain from Sally, if you go back and look at Holmes Creek, we crossed the bridge there in Vernon the other day, and I had to take a double check. Look at that, Gail, that river is so high. Holmes Creek, I wrote it down. The highest peak, it broke a record. The previous record was in 1960 at 23 foot at Vernon. The other day it got up to 27 foot. It broke the record about 4 feet. Now that's a big jump right there. So this weather, I don't know what happened to how they did it, how that creek did it, and others didn't. But it was interesting. Holmes Creek was something else. When it gets up 4 feet over the record, it was like, what, 60 years ago? That's incredible. I would like to talk to hydrologists and see what they attributed that to. Maybe, I don't know. It's interesting. Take a look at our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Good strong tide today. High tide at 2:29 this morning. We've had it. And low tide at 2:28 this afternoon. Exactly 11 hours and 59 minutes apart. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. I've got a lot of pictures. We didn't get to show many yesterday or the day before, so we're behind on pictures, and I love showing these pictures because it's us. It's people here in the Panhandle doing different things. 90-some% of them are here locally, and every now and then I show some of us going to other places like this picture here. These are my cousins from Chattahoochee, Pam, Newton, Locke. They're down at Alvarado, okay? Look at the bull dolphins. And they went with a group of them from Sneeds and Chattahoochee and all that. That's Curtis on the far left. Okay, that's my cousin, Curtis Locke. I want you see what he's pointing at, that Panhandle Outdoors cap. So Ned Maxwell, you better call him up and tell him he's on TV this morning. But look at those mahi. Don't you know that's a fun trip? I've never fished that area, and I would love to do that. That's on I'm going to add that to my bucket list. Good job, Curtis Locke and Pam. Thanks for sharing everything. Old Don Bird Dog Morgan, I got, there's a 6 foot even with 16 rattles. Daddy killed in the late 80s. That's his daddy on the left. Now in the early 90s, in the same area, I killed mine Friday night. They probably kin to each other down the family tree, the rattlesnakes, family tree. Billy Grantham sent this. Look at it, a rare photo of Mother Wrench feeding her young. Now, that's something you can show in school today if you have a class that's creative. Okay, another funny one here. After Sally came through, you know, we had so many odd things happening in 2020. They claimed that sharks were on all the poles out there. Now, that might be Photoshop. We don't like to show Photoshop, but that might be. But anyway, it just shows how bad things were in 2020. Garrison Rosie, one of my former students, he has Rosie charters out there at Captain Anderson's. Like all those captains now, they love, when the season's over, they love to go hunting. And Garrison, he went up to Kentucky for a few days, and look at that shot with a bow and arrow. Real rosy. Good job, Garrison. Proud of you, buddy. I know you deserve, after a long, you deserve a trip like that. For sale, 4 surveillance cameras, old model. Some of y'all can really appreciate this. Some of you may not. But okay, let's move on along. All right, here's some. This keeps on going. This is a new one now. I'm so sick of berry picking season and trespassers. I don't think the guys will be coming back. For your information, Fountain and Youngstown, they scoped out our place 4 days, and we finally caught them in the act. So here they are. That's a picture of them here. They trespassing right there. Got a picture of the truck, and got a picture of them leaving with an empty bucket. So they got busted. So good job. So, anyway, here's what I'm not 100% sure, but I believe I saw this truck dropping off, picking people up in woods last weekend. So they've been doing it a while. When they get caught, they act like they've never didn't know any better. But there was another one there too. They didn't catch him. This is St. Andrews State Park. Is that a cool picture? And of course, they still have velvet. This is even a better picture. It's good to see that healthy bucks after all the storms and the pandemic and everything. They're still healthy, and and there's some healthy deer out there. That's a pretty coat. They've had a good summer. Okay. You know how I like that DIY, do-it-yourself deer blinds? This is a brand new one. Okay. How about milk crates? Can you believe that? Here's another. Let me get another picture of it. Milk crates. Okay. Here's another picture of it. I don't think I would do that personally, because really we don't want the milk crates belong to the milk company, but that is very unique and very creative. And it got red so you can sit on it. I guess it color coded it. All right, they caught another redfish. I won't go into all detail. This was caught down around, let's see, he was not registered on a live shrimp in Martin County, but he was not registered. They released it. In fact, here's a picture of it right here, and you see the tag. See the tag right there. They caught him, and took a picture of him. They said they released him. He don't look real alive right there, does he? Okay. Everybody's checking the tree stands now. This guy was checking his, and guess what he found? We all do this time of year. What's in your tree stand? A big old wasp nest, always. So you spray them out. You always take that spray with you, and put a hurting on them. That's the only way you can get through them. That's all that's left. But every place in the woods got any kind of shed or shelter, that's where it's going to be. Listen, they didn't tell me about this. I found out about it, so I'm going to share it with you. It's tonight. We didn't get a lot of notice, but my folks over there, Victor Hathcote, there's a surf fishing seminar at 6 o'clock tonight over there at the Hub on 30A at 6 p.m. tonight. So good luck, and should be enjoyable. Okay. All right, that catches up some of the pictures. We still got some more. Let's go and take our break, and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Listen, Jeff, all of us been working real hard, so we decided to give Jeff a couple of days off, and he took his family up there to Hartwell, Georgia, Lake Hartwell. His mom lives up there. Went to visit her, and of course, he's like all of us. He's going to be looking for a place to go fishing. He knows the area pretty well. He's fished it before, so we got some pictures now. This is so typical because you take your son out fishing, and the first picture I get the other day was from Dominic. All right, Dominic's happy. He's catching. That's the first one. Wait a minute, I got a series of them. And then Jeff's in. He's caught his catfish. He's on a roll. Brim and catfish. Okay. Now Jeff says it's ridiculous. He caught a nice bass, and all I caught was some really small brim. Good for you, Dominic. And then here we were, the bluegill there with his Clemson shirt on up there in South Carolina. So Dominic, he outfished his dad. But listen, Jeff sent that's a beautiful place up there. Look at that. I've never been there. Are those islands, Jeff? That's what those are, islands?
Mountains in the background.
And that's a mountain in the background? And this is the Savannah River. So Hartwell feeds the Savannah River. Isn't that a pretty river? I mean, that really is. And Jeff, like all of us, he planned, look at the sunset over Lake Hartwell. What a beautiful area. And your mother lived close to there? Or?
Yeah.
Okay, and he's like all of us. We plan to go on a trip outdoor, and we're going to do family stuff and outdoor stuff, and the list of family stuff's like this, but the list of outdoor stuff is like this. So he's like me when he wanted to go fly fishing up there in the mountains, but he just ran out of time. Y'all know that story. He just ran out of time. So that's good. So we're all back to work now. So anyway, I want to share that with you. They had a good trip. I'm glad he went fishing, and good job. Dominic really loves fishing. So we're going to get some more pictures of Dominic. Okay, I sent Billy Grantham a text last night trying to get a report on the dove season when it opened up last weekend and all. And he sent back up there in Jackson County, a lot of the folks have not pulled all the peanuts yet because it's been wet and everything. So it hadn't really been in a super shoot from what I understand, but it's going to get, they're pulling some now, the ground's drying out, and they're pulling them out. Some had been pulled, but a lot of them have not. So the next couple of weekends should be really strong on the dove shooting. So keep that in mind too. And also, I ran across this information. The October FWC meeting, if you're interested, it's going to be online, October the 7th. It's going to be over in Tallahassee, the 7th and 8th at 9 o'clock. And I went through the lineup of different things they're going to cover, and this is what I found for us in our area. They cover all kinds of things across the state. But here's something they're covering for us here in our area. I got a couple things I pulled out of the agenda. The Apalachicola Bay oysters, and they're going to talk about that. And, they put a 5-year cease and desist order on them, so they're going to talk about that. So anyway, they're going to talk about that. And also, this is what's going to be important now. Keep a look at this. Flounder, a stock status update completed by the Research Institute found that the flounder fishing on the Atlantic coast of Florida is likely overfished, and there's been a general decline in fishery. And you're going to see the same thing here on the Gulf Coast. Okay, so public comment will be limited to no more than 1 hour. So anyway, just be aware of what's going on with the flounder. I've heard from various sources they're going to cut the limit down. And if the Research Institute, they do a good job, and they found out on the Atlantic coast is really bad. They say it's not quite as bad on the Gulf Coast, but I guess there's a lot more people over there, so be aware of that. Also, speaking of fishing, just a midweek sort of, I got a big fishing report tomorrow, but I'm going to tell you in case you get a chance to go today, the pier has really had a good run of Spanish. There's been some nice Spanish caught off there, and also there's been some good redfish caught off the pier. So it's been a good couple of days after everything settled down. What happened? And the water's still tainted a little bit. It takes, people ask me, when the storm comes through like that, how long does it take to clear up the water? It's generally from a week to 2 weeks, according to the intensity of the churn and all. But in the Gulf, it just takes a little bit of time, and that current sort of has to come through. So it's still a little dirty as far as sand and all, but at the same time, the fish are going to eat. They just might have to eat at different times, but they're going to find some windows where they're going to go out and eat. So be aware that the pier has been really good this week. One more set of pictures. I got a good buddy of mine, Alan Shepard. We've been friends since, young people, and he went to Greensboro High School, and I went to Quincy, but our dads sort of knew each other growing up. So he's a good hunting buddy of ours back in the day, and back in all those days we deer hunted up there in Liberty County and Gaston County. Our families always hunted together, and Alan is a consummate outdoorsman. He hunts and fishes, and he's one of those Panhandle bred fellows that just loves it. And what he does now, whatever he does, deer hunt or fish, he's been really good at it. But I want to share what he's doing now. He's catfishing. I've showed this picture before. He's on that the big catfish circuit. It's called Mississippi River Monsters, was the one they went to. This is out of Memphis, okay? And they're fishing the Mississippi River. They had 103 boats, 263 anglers, 16 female, 6 young people, 18 veterans, and 17 states were represented, and they weighed in 4,368 pounds. So anyway, Alan sent this to him. He pre-fished it, 3 days of pre-fishing, and it went on to tell a story about. He had a great time. And here's his buddy. He fishes with his buddy right here. Look at that. Okay, and then here's Alan checking the scene out, And here you can see up there, if you've been to Memphis, the Pyramid, you know, they're about going bankrupt, and Bass Pro Shop bought the Pyramid, and that's sort of headquarters of everything. But anyway, I wanted to go. Alan, I sent Alan a text. If his dad and my dad were alive, and my brother, there would be my folks would be calling his folks, want to know how's Alan doing in that tournament. But anyway, they said somewhere in here on information they released every one of these fish were released live, and I read it somewhere. I don't have it right here. Let's see. Okay, right there in yellow, all fish were returned alive and healthy. Now that's pretty strong to catch 4,368 pounds and then release them again. And there you go. You can catch them. You can catch them again next time. So, good job, Alan Shepard. We're going to hopefully one day get to go catfishing with Alan and show y'all some of their tricks and all. They take this stuff serious. They have the sonar and everything, and it's just like the bass anglers. It's not as big as the bass anglers. It's not near well, you got 100-something boats, but it's not near the number of people participating in it. But just like the bass fishermen are releasing theirs, here's the catfishermen. I think I'd have kept one of them smaller ones to eat or something. But anyway, let's take a break and we'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look at our fishing game time for today from Blue Water Outriggers down in Port St. Joe, 5:59 to 7:59. I don't know why they don't round that off from 6 to 8 o'clock. But anyway, tonight, 6:28 till 8:28. So there's some good times to be out. Looks like a good day. Well, it looks like a little bit of rain forecast. So anyway, get out when you can. We were up when Jeff took off to South Carolina. Gail and I took off to Tennessee for a couple of days, and I was in Wendy's back. This is Wendy and Walter's backyard up there, out right around Franklin, Tennessee, right outside of Franklin, Tennessee, which is southwest of Nashville. And I had some spare time, and I saw something in the backyard. You know, as outdoorsman, you're always looking for birds or snakes or some kind of animal. Lo and behold, here, check this out now. I got a kick out of this. This is going to be, all right, this is looking at the backyard. Y'all see that little animal coming over there in the center of the screen. That is an armadillo. And I got tickled. Well, here it is. This is about 9:30 or 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay, I got another little one. So here it goes again. So I got a little bit closer, and he really was not scared of me. I'm on the back deck right now, and he's just looking around. And I was thinking, I know God had a purpose for these things, but I just don't know what purpose they serve. Okay, so anyway, they have so here it is again. So I'm walking, trying to get he's sort of a little skittish right now. So I get Wendy and Walter have a blue heeler, a dog. So I'm thinking, I'm gonna let her name's Maggie. I'm gonna let Maggie out. Check this out. I about cracked up. Maggie's a smart dog. So is that not typical outdoor stuff? But I went over there, I followed, because it's a neighborhood. It's a big neighborhood, and so. Anyway, I followed them, and there's a hole. They'll dig a hole along a fence. Can y'all see him right in there? See that hole? That's where he was. And then he got a tunnel along the fence line going back to the neighbors. So he go back and forth and just eat anything he wants in the neighborhood. But it was hilarious. But I love look at that porno dog. That I've never been around a blue heeler till they got theirs. But anyway, I love that dog, Maggie. She's getting on up there and all. But wow, and they got them when they had their goats and sheep and to separate the animals and all. But what a smart dog. Anyway, that's the armadillo, and I got tickled. My dad just always I couldn't help but think about Dad when I saw the armadillo, because he always said, "What in the world do those things do?" Well, and they said. They would get into the amarillos, the amarillo bubs, and he'd get so mad. He said, "Amarillos get my armadillos. I mean, armadillos and amarillos." And anyway, all right. The other thing I want to talk about too, we had that during all this rain. You know, we had officially 19.2 here in Panama City. I know we had more west of us, and it's just we were inundated. And of course, the first thing we see the next day about the sewage spills throughout the St. Andrew Bay system. It's not just Panama City. Lynn Haven had a huge one. All the municipalities that have some kind of waterfront property are having the sewage spills when it comes to that. And it's not one reason. It's an antiquated system we have. I've talked to people about it because it really is upsetting to a lot of us because we want a good, clean water system. We don't want to be like some of those South Florida water systems. And I was refreshed to see the other day, or 2 days ago, where the Walton County, their area called the Coastal Dune Lakes. Remember we showed you a picture of those Coastal Dune Lakes? Those property owners around the lake are helping with government assistance. The property owners are paying with matching funds or some kind of formula they have to get from, they're going from what they call from septic to sewer, which is so environmentally so much better. And they're paying to get off of their septic tank, which drains into all the lakes, and go into a sewer, which goes back inland, away from the water. So that's good. You heard me mention before. I live on the water. And I have a septic tank, and I hate to have one, but I have no option. But I'd be willing to pay if the county would come out with some kind of sewer system to take the water, back out. Away from the bay. And I think a lot of other bayfront owners along the San Andreas Bay said, what you have a combination of the city. Lynn Haven is overwhelmed. It was 1.5 million gallons of sewage dumped in the San Andreas Bay system. It was just been incredible. And I know some people working with the different utilities in different cities, and they said, Coach, they said it's on a regular basis when we have heavy rain. They said, we can't say anything, but he said, the cities, all the cities are sort of caught up in it, and the only way to do is just put a newer system in there, and that's going to cost money, and us as taxpayers, and we don't like to pay extra taxes, so we sort of call in between. So anyway, I want y'all to be aware of that, and hopefully we'll get some solutions to it soon. But it's just it's not a good situation. Check South Florida and see. About run out of time tomorrow now. I'm going to run down and see Ronnie today, and I have some C&G video tomorrow, and also we'll be drawing for our seafood and a Los Angeles gift card, and also giving a fishing forecast. It should be a good weekend to get some fish. Thank y'all for watching Panhandle Outdoors. I appreciate the feedback y'all send on the emails and texts and all. And y'all have a great day and do something good for your fellow man. God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.